fighting stress and a few fun events. That's what we have this week for you on Eye on Northeast Kansas, the podcast. Welcome in. I'm your host, Melissa Bruner. This is where we recap some of the top interviews that you have seen on Eye on Northeast Kansas, the TV show. You can catch it streaming live Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock Central Time from the WIBW TV studios in the capital of Kansas, the great city of Topeka. Starting out this week with a serious topic, we marked Holocaust Remembrance Day, and we discussed it just a few days before the state of Kansas holds its annual Holocaust Commemoration ceremony. Rabbi Sam Stern of Topeka's Temple Beth Shalom joined Jessica Rockhold. She's with the Midwest Holocaust Education Center. They discussed the importance of remembering this tragic time in the world's history. Welcome back to both of you. And this is a very appropriate day to have you both here. It's something that you work with every day, Jessica, educating people. Why is that education so important? That we learn this story, remember this story, repeat this story?
Well, first of all, it's a human story. We all have to grapple with the lessons that it teaches us. But I think of particular importance is that we're in this moment where it's moving from lived experience to historical memory, and being able to keep those stories present in front of people so that they can understand that it's not just something that happened in a history book a long time ago, a space far away from us, but it impacted real individual people.
And you're right, it's a human story, it was a human tragedy. But even today, Rabbi Stern, as you lead a congregation of Jewish faithful, what do we still see today that lets us know that maybe the lessons, I don't want to say that they're slipping away, but maybe that not everyone truly grasped the humanity and the understanding that we need to have?
Well, as we've gotten further away and the daily experience of knowing people who'd suffered from the Holocaust has faded from the American memory, we have seen that people don't always seem to remember, understand, know, believe the events of the Holocaust. And so it is our mission now, and part of why the state of Kansas Holocaust Commemoration exists, to make sure that everybody still knows, understands, hears, and remembers this story, and remembers the lessons that impact all of us even today.
It's interesting. We started talking a little bit last time about how your speaker is going to share the story of a community that wasn't in Germany. So many times we think about Germany as being the central point, and you were starting to say that this was actually a community in Lithuania, is it, that they're going to speak about? And how this actually was a regional thing, a wider geographic area than many people realize.
Right, so the Holocaust begins in Germany. It is perpetrated by the Nazis, who were the German government in control in Germany. But we like to say that the Holocaust couldn't have happened without World War II. As the Nazis took steps outside of their own geographical range, everywhere that their army went, so did their genocidal policy against the Jews. And it was actually in 1941 that kind of initiative to mass murder takes full formation, and that is when they're at the peak of their power. So they get as far east as nearly Moscow into the Soviet Union. They get as far north as Scandinavia, they're in Norway and Finland, as far west as the French-Spanish border, and as far south as North Africa. So it is the entire expanse of occupied Europe that comes under their control.
A lot of history to learn. Rabbi Stern, why would you recommend that people, regardless of background or faith or belief or culture, come to something like the Holocaust Commemoration?
While we're studying a crime that was primarily and particularly against the Jewish people, the kind of inhumanity that we see from the Holocaust is something that can reoccur in the world. The idea of saying never again about the Holocaust is something that we still have to wrestle with in today's world. We still have to find ways to move past ancient hatreds and newer hatreds. Coming together in a moment like this is a way to stand in solidarity together.
Well, we hope a lot of people will attend. The Kansas Holocaust Commemoration will be held at 1 p.m. April 28th, Monday. It is in Topeka at Topeka Civic Theater. They do request registration at mchek.org/Kansas-Holocaust-Commemoration. I will have that link on WIBW.com for you as well. And by the way, if you can't make it to TCT in person Monday afternoon, you can catch the live stream of the commemoration on WIBW.com. We are happy to partner with you to do that. Jessica, Rabbi Stern, thank you both. Appreciate you being here, especially on today. Again, that commemoration ceremony is being held in Topeka Monday, April 28th, 1 o'clock Central Time. If you cannot be in Kansas to watch it in person, you can catch the live stream that we will have for you on WIBW.com. April is also when we take a little bit of time, or at least this past week was, to recognize work zone safety. Yes, it is orange barrel, orange cone season. No matter where you are, chances are at some point here in the next few weeks or months, you will run in to a detour. Those work zones, of course, are important to keeping our roads safe to travel and a little less bumpy. It also can be a very dangerous time for those men and women who are working in those work zones. So this is Work Zone Awareness Week. Dave Studebaker is a regional manager, supervisor for the Kansas Department of Transportation. He had a little bit of advice for what we can do to keep ourselves and the workers safe. Do you see that forecast, Dave?
I did.
And what does it mean for your folks as you're out there on the roads? We're going to see them working on Saturday since it's a clear day?
Well, it's possible. They're not that far behind yet, so that's usually when it comes in the fall when they start picking up extra time. But we can be out there any day. And we got enough construction out there. We're no shortage of that. So.
And I think that that's a reminder for people, because sometimes we think it's the weekend. We can just blow right on through those construction zones because maybe there's a marker there and a sign warning us, but it's the weekend. Surely they're not going to be out there.
No, just anytime there's a cone on the road, there's a hazard present, and you need to be aware that there's something there you need to be aware of and be wary of, because it could be equipment, it could be a hole in the road that they've opened up for construction on the other side of those cones, so you definitely don't want to be on the inside of those cones. Or there could be people working, and you got to be careful as to the movement of those workers as they're out there on the project.
We had 1,705 work zone crashes last year. That's an incredible number. That was up from 1,543 the year before. So we saw an increase. 8 killed in work zone crashes last year, 383 injury crashes, injuring 508 people.
Correct.
What is causing that many cracks?
You know, the number one reason for, mainly inattentive driving, for whatever reason. There's a lot of ways that people can be distracted from what's immediately in front of them. You know, they're in a hurry, they're looking at the phone, they're reading a paper, whatever they may do. There's a lot of things people do on the road from time to time, and every bit of that takes away your attention to what's immediately in front of you, and what we want you to pay attention to is what's immediately in front of you, or what you're coming into. And 8 deaths, that's statewide. That doesn't seem alarming, but one is too many. And
absolutely.
Any death in a work zone is absolutely avoidable and, just unnecessary. So all we got to do is slow down, pay attention.
I was going to say, slow down, pay attention. What are some of the other things that people need to do?
You got to leave some space between you and the drivers in front of you. We've had several incidental accidents here in Topeka because of all the construction, and most of the time it's a rear end accident. Somebody hasn't paid attention to the person in front of them slowing down, and they run into the back of them, and some of them can be injury accidents or worse, and we don't want that either. So.
What about in that area as you're approaching a work zone and even coming out of a work zone? Because I'll tell you, I drive the Westgate Bridge. That's our route to work every morning, and right now from Highway 24 is the on-ramp there. It's not in the work zone, but the work zone, I happen to know, is right north of there. So as I'm getting on the on-ramp, I know people are coming out of a work zone. So what do drivers on both sides of that equation need to keep in mind?
Usually, typically, when there's a road construction set up, that's a long-term road construction, there's well advanced signs telling you that you got something coming, whether a lane's closed, speed limit change, whatever. We just ask that you read those and pay attention to them, and until a sign tells you something is normal, it's still the same thing. So some of those work zones seem like they're a long distance, but it's, if we put all those signs out every 100 feet in those work zones, then it overwhelms people. So once you see those warnings, heed those warnings until you see a sign that says end road work or a normal speed limit sign.
Yeah, because you don't want to be so eager to get out of the work zone that you're then putting all the other drivers around you at risk.
Right, and we've all seen that. Get through there, everybody's in a hurry, and then it's a drag race at the end of it. That's kind of unnecessary as well, but we've all been there, we've done it, we've seen it. So we ask that you at least slow down during going through the project itself, and and just looking at, you got to look around you. I mean, there's people working there. Somebody could inadvertently step out. A piece of machinery could be moving around in there, and something it's always possible something can be out closer to you than you'd like it to be.
Oh, yes.
So we just got to be aware of that and give them room.
Yes, all good reminders. I'm in that Polk Quincy Viaduct project because those trucks are coming on and off the highway
Sure.
as they go alongside. Dave Studebaker, always good reminders. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you having us.
Stay safe. The end result, folks, is we're going to have better roads. So
That's good.
Be patient.
As I say to everybody that complains about a cone, an orange cone is a sign of progress. Just keep that in mind. Just be patient. It will be better.
There you go. Thanks, Dave. Slow down, folks, no matter how stressful it may seem. And maybe it's coincidence that April is also Stress Awareness Month. Tricia McCourt is with Sent Topeka. They offer a variety of mental health services and support for people in the Southeast Topeka area. But she shared advice for everyone, no matter where you are, to calm down. We all get stressed out from time to time. It can affect our mental health, and it can play a role in substance use and misuse as well. April is National Stress Awareness Month, and it is an issue Sent Topeka is tackling through its Kansas Fights Addiction campaign. Addiction specialist Tricia McCourt is here to bring a little bit more perspective to this and some helpful tips as well, which we all can use. Everybody gets stressed out. What is happening to our bodies when we get stressed?
So what happens is high stress levels create more cortisone in our brain. We produce more. And so then as we have that, our normal, like the normal
And the way our brain would normally respond. It kind of
Right,
changes.
yes, the normal response becomes affected, and we tend to rely on substances, and which then can create a substance use disorder.
I was going to say, how does this play into then substance use? I mean, part of it is coping mechanism.
Yes, and so different coping mechanisms that we can work on are having healthy support systems. We can have exercise, more exercise and better sleeping patterns. Reaching out to therapists or recovery support programs.
And we have a list of these tips. First of all, that networking with friends and family, to have that support network. Why is that one in particular something that's very important?
Well, when you have a network of healthy social supports around you, it affects all parts of your life and things that you do. And so it affects maybe where you live, or where you work, or the activities that you do outside of work. And so when we have those healthy supports, we can rely on them to help us make better choices and make better decisions in our life to not use, and it reduces the stress level so that we don't have to rely on the substance use to mask the feelings.
And the physical activities, there's some science to that, because I can tell you that's exactly when people say, why do you run? That's that makes your heart beat so fast.
Yeah.
But it is about the stress. I can tell if I haven't had exercise, I'm more short-tempered, I can get more anxious, and I'm not dealing with the stress in my life.
So it's producing the dopamine that you need, and reducing the stress level, which reduces the cortisone in your brain, and giving you what you need so that you're not seeking to try to fill the gap. And that is definitely makes a difference. So.
When do we know it's time to talk to a therapist? Because that was the other thing you were saying as well, to know when to reach out to a therapist.
So a lot of times folks are self-medicating and with substances, and they don't even realize that that's what they're doing. But if you identify that you're self-medicating to avoid feelings of anxiety or depression or pressure from the stress in your life, that can definitely lead to addiction over time. And so as you realize and you become aware of that, the best thing that you could do is reach out for help at that time.
Absolutely. Professional support sometimes can make all the difference. Even talking it through with friends, sometimes you need a professional who's kind of got that outside view. How can we maybe reduce stress? I'm sure there's no magic one-size-fits-all answer to that, but any advice for reducing stress in general so we can keep this from even becoming an issue?
So I would say knowing that you have the ability to break the cycle and plug into healthy activities, healthy supports like the recovery communities, or just increasing better sleep patterns or that exercise. Sometimes that's all it takes to reduce the stress in your life, doing better or healthier things.
Is it easy to check in with ourselves, though, too? I think that we often say, what are your triggers? What's going on? And I think if we just kind of take time to be quiet,
Yes.
How does that help us identify just where it is that the stress is starting and then make some changes? I know that
Yes.
saying no to every single person who asks you to do something is a good place to start.
And for sure, no is a full sentence, right?
That's good. That's good advice.
Yes, and knowing what your capacity is and paying attention to your body and the feelings within when you say yes, or if you're on the verge of saying yes, what does that feel like? And knowing what your cutoff is so that you can maintain healthy boundaries, which then flows over to less stress.
Tricia, thank you so very much.
Thank
Always good
you.
to see you.
Yes, thank you.
We need less stress. Remember, you can find a lot of mental health resources and support on WIBW.com/HearMeSeeMe. Hear Me See Me is our mental health awareness initiative. And by the way, be sure to check out our companion podcast for that initiative, Hear Me See Me, wherever you get your podcast, and on that website as well. You'll find a link to listen to the episodes. We're going to have a little fun when we return. Let's take a quick break on Eye on Northeast Kansas. Welcome back to Eye on Northeast Kansas. If you happen to be visiting Topeka over the summer months, you will find a lot of great activities. A lot of them are free. Evergy Plaza on South Kansas Avenue in the heart of downtown Topeka has a lot of free weekly music events. On Wednesdays over the lunch hour, they have Live at Lunch, a free local music performance. On Thursdays during the summer in the evening time, they have what they call Eats and Beats. There's one Friday during the month where they have Friday Flicks showing free movies right there on Evergy Plaza. So a lot of fun to do in our community. Of course, First Fridays bring an art walk, which is all over town. And then organizations are hosting special events throughout the year. Capper Foundation is jazzing up its Concert for a Child event. They've been doing this for several years now. It's usually a ticketed event held at a smaller venue. Well, this year, Capper Foundation wants to make it a community celebration. So they have planned for it to become a free community concert on Evergy Plaza for everyone to come out, learn a little bit about what Capper Foundation does, but also enjoy some great country music. Capper's Jared Guth visited the Red Couch to share who will be headlining this year's event. Welcome to you.
Hi.
It's a little different this year.
A little
bit different. So the big changes is it's a free event.
It's a free event. It's going to be huge. It's at Evergy Plaza on June 13th. And so we've never actually done the free concert before. We're relying on a lot of our partners and community help. And so this is going to be probably our most community inclusive event that we've ever had. So,
Which is, why did you decide to do it that way?
we just really wanted to open up the concert. This is our 5th year doing the concert. We've had some incredible musicians and we continue to do that this year. But we just wanted to open it up and make it a large event that we feel like, Capper is a community, and we just want to expand our community and be a part of Topeka and have a lot of fun doing it.
And I think it's going to be very super fun because your headliner is who? And we have photos to support your announcement. Your headliner is?
So his name is Logan Mize.
We've heard of Logan Mize.
Yes. Yeah, he's a country artist, plays all over the place. He's been all over the United States and Canada, and he's had, I think I saw like 350 some million views on some of his music, and he's pretty incredible, and he's agreed to do this show, so we're super happy for that.
And he's doing an acoustic set
Yes.
as opposed to full-blown band and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's going to be special because a little more intimate, but also at a large scale.
Yeah.
So he has the 3-person acoustic set. I love acoustic music, so I think it's going to be really exciting. He's got like a bass player and lap steel and everything. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
And who's going to open?
So we're going to have Dallas Pryor and the Lazy Wayne Band. And if you haven't seen them, they're incredible. So
A ton of fun.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of fun planned for the whole evening.
Right, because you're going to start with line dance lessons.
Line dance lessons at 6 o'clock. Concert starts at 7. I'll probably get some lessons. I need them, so.
I'm emceeing, but you all don't want to see me dance because that is not going to be fun.
Yeah, I like how you just passed over that real quick. You are emceeing, and
Yeah.
so that makes it even more special.
Well, I'm excited because, really the staple of Concert for a Child, of course, is great music, but it's also sharing Capper Foundation's story.
Right.
And that's not going to change.
No, absolutely not. We want to share our story. We want more people to really understand what Capper does in the community. and how important Capper Foundation is for our community. So we're excited to share our story. We're excited to have a lot of fun doing it. And, I think children, adults, everybody can come to this. And one of the big benefits is that it goes to our pediatrics, so our Children's Ability Fund, which helps families that are uninsured or underinsured. So.
And we hope people enjoy the music and then feel compelled to give, and especially when they meet our featured family this year, which is, I'm just a little tease, it is someone that you've met on our news before.
Oh.
So it's going to be kind of an update for some of our viewers as well. Super excited.
Yeah.
It is all going to happen at Concert for a Child Friday, June 13th, 6 o'clock is the start time at Evergy Plaza in downtown Topeka. Again, Logan Mize is our headliner, opening act Dallas Pryor and the Lazy Wayne Band, a free community concert with a lot of fun going on around it as well. Jared Guth, Capper Foundation, always great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Looking forward to June. Capper Foundation is an organization very near and dear to all of us at WIBW TV because we have a shared history, the same father and grandfather, if you will. Capper Foundation was started by Senator Arthur Capper. He was a local publisher back on Christmas Day of 1920. Senator Capper and Capper Publications gave rise to the Topeka Capital Journal, which also then launched WIBW Radio, which also then launched WIBW Television. So the Capper Foundation is part of our WIBW family tree, so we are very proud to always talk about that shared history, but also support a great, great community cause. We also are happy to support various events with the American Cancer Society. Cancer, of course, is something that has touched just about all of our lives. We can think of someone who has been affected by cancer. Our American Cancer Society for the Topeka area has a lot of fun events that are also worthwhile. They raise money to support the fight against cancer. That includes Corks and Forks. It's a few weeks away, but we are able to share some details of the event. Darren and Tiffany Brubaker are the chairs. They have a personal reason for getting involved. Stephanie Wider with our local ACS office also talked about what people can expect from Corks and Forks. So Corks and Forks, we have the theme behind you, Wine and Roses. What is it all going to be about this year?
Well, this is our 20th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
And so the event started before it was Corks and Forks, it was Wine and Roses. Correct, Stephanie? Correct. And so we wanted to pay homage to that history here, celebrating and fighting cancer for 20 years.
A throwback theme, if you will. So what all unfolds, Darren? What's all going to happen that you have planned diligently, every detail yourself?
Yep, I sure have. We have a 5-course meal planned with wine pairings. There's going to be a silent and live auction. Then there's going to be a lot of dancing and fun in the evening.
Give me a little clue on the meal. When you say a 5-course, what are we going to be eating?
Some of the features are lobster bisque and steak fillet.
Okay.
And blueberry bagel with salmon on it, which does not sound delicious, but I assure you it is.
It doesn't sound delicious, but well, I can see that. Like the little fruity from blueberry would be delicious. The music and dancing, who's providing that?
Double D Entertainment.
Okay,
DJ
so that
Drew.
will be extremely fun. This is very important. Obviously, we're smiling and having a lot of fun, but it is a very serious cause. What will the money from Corks and Forks go to support?
So all of the funds raised go to support the American Cancer Society's program of work, which includes research, education efforts, and most importantly, patient services.
When you think about fundraisers like this, Stephanie, how much do they help in achieving that mission?
They're everything. It means everything because as an organization, everything we do relies on every single dollar that we raise. And so it's critical that we have the support of individuals like Darren and Tiffany who are out there every single day fighting for every dollar.
Well, because there's going to be an auction involved as well. And what are some of the highlights of your auction this time?
We love the vacation packages. Those tend to go I'm not going to share where just yet. You'll have to tune into our Facebook page as we reveal those over the coming days. But we tend to like the vacation.
You know, it is a lot of work to lead an event like this, so there must be a reason. What is it that motivates you to get involved and stay involved with the American Cancer Society?
My mom passed away from brain cancer in 2018, and we've been a part of the Corks and Forks committee ever since then.
What was it that the American Cancer Society did to support your family?
They've been a support line for us. Everybody involved has had an experience with cancer, and I think that everybody around has as well. and we really appreciate all the support that they provide us.
There's a lot of, you don't know till you need it, really.
And there's not a service we've used, but one thing as a nurse I find instrumental that the ACS provides is transportation to appointments and treatments. And that's something insurance often doesn't cover, and that can be burdensome for either the patient, even if they can drive, not being able to, related to side effects from chemotherapy. And so that's something I think that they provide through their vast volunteer network that's
so essential, absolutely. Well, we want you to attend Corks and Forks because it's going to be a lot of fun for a serious cause. Wine and Roses, 6 p.m. to midnight, Friday, May 9th. It will be at Townsite Tower, but no, not there down on the ground. You're going to go up in the elevator to the 16th floor and have an extra special night at Corks and Forks. Information and ticket reservations can be done at corksandforkstopeka.org. Tiffany, Darren, Stephanie, thank you all so very much. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
As you heard, it's been around a while, the 20th anniversary Corks and Forks. You can support Topeka's Corks and Forks event or support those cancer-related charities and functions near you. You can check out the video from all of these segments along with all of the guests that you see on Eye on Northeast Kansas by heading to WIBW.com. You can also find the links along with our studio selfies with all of our guests on my Facebook page. That's WIBW Melissa Bruner. Of course, please be sure to click like and subscribe to this podcast, the Eye on Northeast Kansas podcast, and all those studio selfies that you see throughout the week. So glad to have you with us. Until next time, we'll see you on the Red Couch.